Come here. I'm about to punch you. Go, bro.
I met a shaman once.
No, there's no string. No string. No nothing.
He taught me a special song and dance.
If you have faith that the water will stay, then it will stay.
He asked I not reveal this dance.
You have faith that we can heal this though? Because I need your help, I need your thought, I need your energy.
I do believe that this is a time of opportunity where things are coming to a climax.
But I can show you its effects.
What? Yo, what the hell? Mommy out, bro! Yo!
The time has come.
Part of the setup of our world, of our experience of what we call this world, is to have an experience of separation from one, from union, and through what we perceive or experience as wars and all the things that separation leads to, that through that over what to us seems like eternities, millennia, but in the scheme of the universe is probably like a millisecond, that through that we learn how to find union again, to actually recognize. I mean, this is what all the great spiritual traditions lead to. You know, can we recognize that we are one?
This one, you sure?
Yeah.
Positive?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have you write your name on it? Perfect. You have dropped the cards. Don't need them. Because I'm a magician, you know that what I'm going to do is an illusion, right? You expect that to happen?
Yeah.
But if you ask the card, it's going to say, don't listen to this guy. He's really ripping me right now, okay? The card can feel the separation. Not only that, but each piece feels and really believes that it's separate from the rest. To them, this is not an illusion. To them, this is real.
Sure.
But you know this is an illusion, okay? Now, sometimes it takes an extreme pressure to begin to realize that the separation never occurred. The separation never occurred. That the separation never occurred.
Wow.
That's tough. That's good.
Burned it and everything too.
And this divine energy and oneness that you talked about, another term for that would be God.
How do you think humanity's beliefs about God affect humanity?
I actually had a Franciscan monk explain this to me, that the difference between spiritual and or shamanic traditions and religion has to do with the way in which we interact with our concept of God. That in a spiritual or shamanic tradition, people who were trained or had a natural talent for communicating with the invisible, for example, in the tradition here, the Nahual, what the Nahual is the realm, the invisible realm of the unmanifest, of pure potential. And that the person trained in going into that realm and navigating would go to that place, gather information, and bring it back through the portal into this realm for the good and the benefit of someone in the community who was ill, for the community in general, for the collective, for humanity. And that was a continuous process. It wasn't a terminated or finite process. It was continuous. Whatever came up, there was this constant communication and conversation with Source. And when religion, institutionalized religion, came along, took whatever information had come through at some point and stopped the new influx of new information. They terminated the conversation, made it finite, and created what had come through into dogma based on the interpretations of governments, in many cases, powers, individuals and institutions that were looking for power, and used that dogma to control communities, individuals, societies, and that's what we've received as our inheritance today. As the Western world has begun to slowly recognize the gifts contained within cultures and traditions that have managed to a greater or lesser extent preserve, in the face of conquest and oppression, their shamanic traditions, we've started having an awakening that this also was the source of our religious institutions. There are people who are beginning to realize that one can have a relationship with Jesus, for example, or with Buddha, or I imagine maybe there are even people who are having this realization around Muhammad or other prophets from the Old Testament, and bring them into a new energetic vibration in modern times, so that we can discover that we can have a new conversation directly with the divine. You know, I don't actually have to go through someone who's considered to be the rule keeper. I can have a direct conversation, and it's often uncomfortable because we want to honor and not appropriate, but we want to learn and allow it to spark a memory of our own traditions.
Can you see the water and everything, like all the laws of physics apply here?
The water spills when I go like this?
Sí.
That's normal, yes?
Sí.
What's the saying? Have you heard that saying about a mustard seed?
Faith of a mustard seed can move mountains.
The faith of a mustard seed can move mountains? You've heard that before? Okay. We're going to try to play with that idea.
This is going to be a test of your faith.
Dice que va a ser una prueba de prueba muy fuerte de tu fe.
I'm going to twist it, okay? Now you can see that it's actually spilling.
When I turn it over,
Dice
it
cuando
spills, right?
dice que ahorita se cae, pero
Hold it
cuando
by the top?
We need to have faith that the water will not spill. Do Do you have faith with me? Because it's obviously spilled. You have to have faith.
Have faith.
Ready? Stop.
Whoa.
Stop.
Dice que se paró.
Can you see the straw? Yeah. Is it empty?
Sure.
Even if I insert the straw,
Ya no se cayó, ¿ya viste?
even
Si
if
tú
we put
tienes fe,
something like a pencil in here,
dice que aún metiéndole la pluma,
it still stays.
dice todavía aún se queda ahí.
Even if we put something like a straw,
Dice que aún poniéndole un popote se va a quedar, mira.
still,
Dice que aún así se va a quedar.
it stays.
And look, even if I insert something into it. The faith of a mustard seed. By the way, who said that quote?
Jesus.
Dice Jesucristo.
What's his most famous miracle with water?
Dice, ¿cuál fue su más grandioso milagro que hizo con el agua?
Hizo vino.
Vino.
Wine.
Do you have faith we can turn this into wine?
Dice que tienes fe en que esto se puede convertir en vino.
Water into wine. Parting the red osmosis, right? I don't think we're not really close to the sea here, but if I take this, watch it closely, okay?
Yeah, we can look at it. Wine. You can smell it, right? You can see it becoming wine.
You can drink it. It's wine.
Es vino.
You can drink it.
Drink it.
Is it good?
It's wine! Oh my god.
You can smell it. It's wine. You can drink it.
That's crazy.
It's got alcohol in it. I mean, literally does.
Faith of a mustard seed.
It tastes like, you guys. I'm not f***ing around. It started from the
It's
bottom,
wine,
and
yes.
I started smelling it.
It did.
Whoa.
And there was nothing in the
just
straw.
tried
You
some.
saw there was
Not
nothing
a
in there.
Damn thing.
Well, anybody else wants it, but I'm gonna chug it.
Chug it.
Who do you think Jesus was, and what do you think he taught?
Well, that's a big question. Who is Jesus? Who was he? And what did he teach? I believe that Jesus was an incarnation of God, divine, come into human form to be in service. I also believe that the Mother Mary, that the Virgin Mary is the divine feminine incarnate in human form, which is a belief that's controversial and certainly something that I've gotten flack for, but it's a belief that I have. I believe that the Divine Mother, as the Divine Father also, that they are able to incarnate into human form at different periods of time and in different aspects. Not just in the Christian story, but in many other stories in different cultures around the world. And that the teachings that Jesus brought were teachings completely in line with the teachings of many other spiritual traditions. that we recognize that we are in human form experiencing separation from the divine, but that we each contain that spark of the divine within us, that the prophecy and the promise that God will return in the form of the Messiah at some future point in time speaks to each one of us, that we have that possibility to awaken to our divine nature, and that through that we will overcome the experience of separation and we will find union again. That the fact that we're showing up in this human physical suit of molecules formed into what we think of as matter is ultimately an illusion or a dream that we are in as sparks of divine consciousness. And of course, the key paths that Jesus taught to awakening were love, compassion, peace, selfless service. And I think that most of his teachings were taken out of context, were taken literally when he was speaking metaphor. And we live with the effects of that to this day. And yet, in our continuous interaction and conversation with Jesus, we can look for, dream into, and find the actual original meaning behind his teachings.
You've heard of stories throughout the ages, throughout the centuries and millennia, of people like healing themselves or others, like extraordinary feats of that. You've heard of that, right? Jesus is one of them. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna try to play with that idea, okay? I'm gonna put it on myself. Come here, watch.
Oh my God, he's really going in.
This is where it'll get a little gruesome, okay?
No, I don't want to see it gruesome. No. Oh my God. Ah, stop.
You see, if I dig in, I could peel the skin back. It hurts.
Oh, God.
Okay, here comes the healing part. Do you have faith with me that we can do this? I'm gonna close it up, okay? And you have to help me here. Just help me with your mind. Just send me your good vibes.
Oh, he healed himself.
We did it.
Can I touch it? Oh, it's definitely blood. Oh my God.
Wash your hands.
Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
So the second coming is not about one person, it's about all of us.
I believe that the second coming is about all of us.
With everything happening, I don't know, say the past few years, it seems like things are kind of coming to a boiling point in terms of polarization and separation. Yet at the same time, I feel like in small pockets, it's becoming better as people are awakening more and more to the unity of everything. Do you see this time that we're in as an opportunity? And if so, how can we take advantage of this opportunity?
I do believe that this is a time of opportunity where things are coming to a climax. I actually have felt from the time I was a very little girl that we would see the end of the world within my lifetime, within this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the end of the world, I don't mean like in a rapture, apocalyptic sort of a way necessarily, but I believe that the way in which we've been perceiving the world and physical reality will come to a shift point. And so an ending in that way. But in the ending, there is a new beginning. I have noticed that in these moments of great distress, whether dealing with earthquakes and hurricanes and wildfires, as we've been seeing most recently, or dealing with situations of war, and so many parts of the world are actively dealing with refugee situations and great violence, great loss. And I think that within that, there are many, many people who are stepping forward, in part thanks to technology, which, while it has many damaging qualities, also has many beneficial qualities, and people have been recognizing that and making good use of it, which is to connect collectively, to be able to, within seconds, connect to people all around the world with how to help in a disaster situation. So, because I'm a hopeful person, I do believe that people are awakening and coming together and discovering compassion as the only way to get through this. Selfless service is the only way to get through this collectively. And for me personally, the way in which I attempt to aid my awakening and my connection is through making art, through the creative process, through what's called intentional creativity, which is a way of praying through making marks on paper, on canvas, and allowing prayer to come out and take actual form. So it refers back to this old shamanic concept of going through the portal into the invisible, where we might imagine prayer to live, and to bring that back through and give it form, give it image, make it real in this world, so that both people can see it and then take it in a real physical way. That if it serves to bring me comfort, to calm me down, if it serves to bring others who might witness and experience these marks and images I make, that they find comfort in it, that they are uplifted through it, then I think that a greater purpose is being served, which ultimately, collectively, if we are all doing this type of work, will lead us to union and to a collective awakening into Christ consciousness.
The time has come.
Gold digger. This is perfect. Actually, okay.
Okay.
Do you have any coins in there?
Maybe. What do you need? A quarter, a dime, a nickel?
I'll go in there. Is this cool? What is this?
It's a penny.
A penny. Okay.
Penny.
Here.
Pick the highest denomination.
Take the penny.
Take the penny.
And go ahead and just initial it for me.
Initial the penny?
Yeah.
What's in it? Oh,
Yeah, just so you know that it's perfect.
My pain.
Now, this is your penny out of your cup, correct?
yes.
You heard the story of the mother whose child got caught under a car, and then like a rush of adrenaline, she was able to lift the car and get the baby out?
Yeah, it happens a lot. It's like,
You've heard that happen before,
yeah,
right?
Mom's got like this thing of surge of energy.
Right, like otherworldly energy almost.
Yeah, because
right.
it's important.
Because it's so important.
Yeah.
Because it needs to happen.
It has to. Yeah.
It has to happen.
Yeah, it's saving your child's life. Yeah.
Exactly. Imagine you're in such a situation.
My child that I birthed.
Yes.
Is underneath a car. Okay.
Imagine that we as humanity are in such a situation.
Okay. It's a pretty big car.
And in order for you to survive, in order for you to evolve, in order for you to keep going, you have to bend that penny.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take it with your hands and really try to bend it. I mean, that's a normal penny. Go ahead, solid penny. But I really want you to close your eyes, really imagine you're in such a life or death situation.
I don't think humanity is going to survive.
You need to bend that penny. It's not happening, is it?
I believed it was, but no, it's not.
Then really, close your eyes and really take a deep breath with me. In order to go on, you have to bend this penny.
Okay.
Bend the penny.
I don't think I can save him.
You can do it.
Nah, I don't
You can do it, Manny.
I'm hurting
You can do
myself
it.
here, bro. It's not easy. Humanity's doomed. I'm gonna bend the fucking penny here. Right.
You can do it.
Holy shit!
Whoa! Whoa!
The penny?
Holy!
Nah.
You okay? You just surprised yourself.
Yo, nah.
That's crazy.
That's my penny.
That is your penny.
The market. Yo, nah. That's bullshit. Yo, cause I tried mad hard, yo.
Yo, you just did
I'm
that.
keeping that, bro.
Keep it, yeah. I'm sorry, you're short a penny, but
Yo, you just robbed my penny.
I just robbed you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just broke a penny in half. I gotta believe.
You didn't even know you could do that.
I wasn't prepped for that. That's like, bro, I tried too hard.
You tried too hard. We don't even need to try that hard. That's the metaphor.
There is no penny.
There is no penny.